Real Trees Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by RTP Outdoors, Redneck Blinds, Hoyman Tree Saws, Ozonics, Nikon, Easton Arrows, and Real Tree Edge. Hunt with an edge.
Well, it's late July today, and I'm on Mike and I's farm right now to get some projects done. I got the buggy loaded down with equipment, because I'm going to try to get as much done as possible today between prepping fall plots, hanging a couple stands, cameras, checking the hot zone fence, and if I get time, I'd like to do a little velvet film tonight too. So it's going to be a busy day. A lot has changed over the last couple months. Unfortunately, due to a job relocation, I was forced to move a couple hours away from this farm. So it definitely changes things. It takes a little bit of the thrill of it away, obviously, but I'm going to try to get over and you know, days like this, get as many projects done as I can. It's just going to be a little bit different, a little bit tougher to get some of that done. But today, I'm going to start in this little plot. This is a spot that I sprayed probably 2 months ago now, and as you can see behind me, it's done pretty good as far as not greening back up again. That's 2 months of being rained on and good summer growth conditions. There is a little bit here that I'm going to try to spray today. This plot is very small, not even maybe a third of an acre. My plan is to put some wild game buffet in here, and this would be an ideal situation to have an RTP drill or something, but since I don't have access to that, I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. I'm going to spray what's popped up today and then just come back in here, not disturb the soil at all, don't till it, nothing. Broadcast the wild game buffet seed right in here. Maybe take a chain or a rake or something to get it through some of this dead thatch that's on top. But other than that, I'm going to leave it. Just basically broadcast and let it go type of situation. So as simple as you can get in terms of a food plot. And just see how it does. This is a really cool spot. Right here behind me, it's super thick. And then out here on this side are ag fields. So I think this will set up really well as a nice little transition spot. We hunted in this stand up in front of me last year a number of times, had some good hunts, and this was just an open grassy area basically. I think if we can establish clover here in the future, it's just going to be a killer transition for these deer coming out of the bedding. It's close to the bedding, it's close to the food. I think it'd be a great spot. It's really easy for us to access. So this is a spot, one of the spots I'm most excited about really. So it's a priority for me today. Like I said, I'm going to get sprayed today and probably come in next week and broadcast the seed and just try to get it to fall through the grass a little bit so it has a better chance of reaching the soil. So I'm going to get started, and I'll keep you posted as I go today. Well, that wasn't too bad. This plot, like I said, is pretty small. So it's a great example of how when you spray and then don't disturb the soil, whether that means disking it, burning it, anything like that, that's gonna quickly rejuvenate those weeds. This will stay dead for a long time. So very little work involved, and plus, like I mentioned earlier, this dead thatch, I'm just gonna keep that in there because that seed will fall underneath that. And that'll help trap moisture in there too, so it's going to be a lot better than disking it up and removing all the moisture that's already in the soil, because we've had a pretty good summer in terms of rainfall. So we can give it a shot, and like I said, I'm excited about this plot. So this is the tree we did a hanging hunt out of last year, and that's, I guess, the only bad part about this spot is it doesn't have the perfect tree. It's in a great spot, it's just the tree is not easy. It's a multi-trunk maple tree, and None of the trunks are very straight. I'm looking at one. I want to adjust it a little bit from where we hung last year. I'm looking at one that would probably work, but probably won't know till I get up there. It leans a decent amount. I'm hoping we can make that work because that'll put us a little bit closer to the plot, and we won't have as many trunks in front of us to deal with. This is a trunk that's closer to the edge of the plot, so I think that's the one I'll try when I come back to the spot to hang a stand. As I'm driving here, I figured I'd show you something kind of interesting. If you remember a couple months ago, we did a burn on this farm and burned quite a bit of it, but there's some sections we didn't burn, and we went back and forth whether or not to mow fire breaks around these big willow patches there in the middle of the farm. These willow thickets were an unbelievable bedding area last year. So many deer that bedded out here. In the end, we decided that we just hoped they would just bounce right back, just like anything else. If you look behind me, they really didn't. There's a dramatic difference between the willows we burnt and the willows we didn't. You can see the ones right over my shoulder here are ones we burnt. There's very few growing back, a couple at the top. Hopefully they'll bounce back next year. The willows aren't necessarily good, but man, they're great bedding area. So I'm a little bit disappointed. It was a learning experience. Obviously, we probably burned a little bit too late, and the trees weren't dormant enough to bounce back. But if you look this way, those are willows we didn't burn. So you can see how thick they are with cover compared to these ones right here. So we just thought that was interesting. Instead, you learn, you try different things, you learn, and we probably burned a little bit too late this year. Here's the electric fence that Jake and I put up probably about a month ago now. It looks like it's doing a tremendous job. These beans are coming up really nice. They're a little over knee height right now. Starting to flower out pretty good. So this looks really good, other than they need sprayed. And that's just another challenge of being farther away from the farm to be able to get tasks like that done. But other than that, I'm happy with how they look. I don't see any of these in here that are browsed off or anything. All the beans look really good. I'm all settled in for the evening now. It's warmed up, not that sun has come out, but hopefully the deer are moving tonight, and hopefully I'm in a good spot. Like I said, first time out, first time velvet filming on this farm, for that matter. So I'm anxious to see how it goes. It was a productive day here on the farm. I didn't get any stands hung. I spent a lot of time just walking around looking at potential stand sites. Pulled a few cards. Actually ran and pulled some cards on a different farm. And a couple okay bucks, nothing good. No deer that I recognize so far. So hopefully they start showing up here in a few weeks. I'm gonna sit tight, and hopefully the rest of the evening is a good one. Well, it's a little bit better. I couldn't really tell a whole lot about that buck, but he was better than the first one for sure. He's a ways off, and he's actually eating in the corn instead of the beans, so maybe that was part of the reason I didn't see very much tonight. You just never know this time of year. There's so much food around, so. But good way to end the night.